Hey everyone, today I am going to take you through a really easy way to improve your ability to create guitar solos. This is a really excellent drill, exercise, approach, maybe more than anything for beginner players. I do think it's really helpful for people who are also in that intermediate realm. But ultimately, for those of you who are a little newer to guitar, you've got some scales under your fingers, you've got some shapes, and now you want to really get into improving your solos, taking a few of those shapes and creating something that sounds really good, really clean, really valuable, meaningful, sexy, whatever words you want to use to describe a nice solo. This is a great way to do it. So I'm just going to jump right in. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to take three phrases. You can call them small licks. You can break them up into their own individual little licks. But you can also call them phrases, whatever the heck you like. Let's call them phrases for right now. I'm going to take three phrases, and that's going to basically be the focus. Now, this is going to be in the key of C. We're using the C major pentatonic or the A minor pentatonic scale, right? They're relative scales for those of you who want to be sticklers. And it's going to be the most basic pentatonic shape. So let's turn that on. 5/8, 5/7, 5/7, 5/7, 5/8, 5/8, and then we're also going to have this what I call the Buddy Guy box, and that's going to be 9 and 8/10, 8/10, right, on the G, B, and high E strings. Okay, so that's really all the notes we're using. Really simple stuff. How can I make that all sound really good? I mean, if you love, I'm a Stevie Ray Vaughan lover. I mean, he's in those shapes like majority of the time. There's obviously plenty of times where he moves up and down the neck, but so often he just stays right in that shape and it sounds so excellent. So let's go ahead and go over these three phrases. I'll have the tabs popping up across the screen so we don't need to break down all of the shapes. And okay guys, we're gonna do 5, 7. Here's the tabs. So the first lick, just turn that up a little bit so you can hear it. Just playing through it slow. That might be, how you want to approach this. Let's say this is, 5 to 10 minutes, right? Just setting a backing track and working through this for 5 to 10 minutes. You might want to devote, 2 minutes to each shape and then have 4 minutes to play around with the soloing, 1.5 minutes to each shape, 6+ minutes for the soloing, or you can make this a longer piece of practice as well, so that's all good too. And that might be a little bit out of your wheelhouse if you're really brand new. There's a hammer on, there's a slide, but it could give you an opportunity to play with those things. All right, so that's the first phrase. And then we're going to go with this. Let's do that again. Okay, so that's the second phrase. And then this third one, simple stuff. One more time. There's our three phrases. It's a really great exercise or, again, approach or drill or whatever you want to define it as to help you get better at understanding that simplicity is such a powerful tool when it comes to playing guitar solos. So you can be brand new and sound better than the person who's in the intermediate stage who's trying to move across the neck and get wild with it and just jam in too many notes and play really fast instead of recognizing, listen to B.B. King play. It's let's use no notes and just make it sound beautiful, relying on, melodic touch as opposed to speed and, going wild with it, right? Of course, if you want to play heavy metal, you want to sound great in the metal category, you'll need to get fast, or in my opinion, you'll need to get fast and, learn arpeggios and things like that. But if you're really just wanting to jump in, sound good, and everything like that, this is a great way to do it. So I've got this backing track here, or I've got this loop, I shouldn't say backing track. I will link my favorite backing track YouTube channels that you can sift through. Again, like I said, this is in C major or A minor. So if you see anything there that says C major or A minor, you can use this. If it says like A blues, because it'll be a dominant chord, I would say that would be the key to keep it in. So in A blues, this would work really nicely. But I've got a backing track or a loop station, loop pedal going, just so I don't get pinged for any, stealing anyone's stuff. It is admittedly not my greatest loop, but here we go. So that's C major, and I believe I go to A minor. That's not true. D minor, and then F major and G, right? And so now I can let's just start with that first phrase. Let's just turn that up a little bit. Sorry, y'all had to see my balding head. Just getting a feel for the rhythm. Sounds pretty good. You can just repeat that. Remember, repetition inside of solos is huge. It's massive. Listen to all your favorite solos. A lot of them have some nice repetition in it. So let's just do that one more time. Make sure everything looks good, feels good. Cool. You got all the time in the world. You're not in front of anyone. It's all good. All right. And let's just try out that next one. It's a little sloppy. I missed that slide. But that's why you want to take some time to feel it out, right? I'm just sitting here talking to a camera and playing through this. Yeah, if I'm practicing, let me pay a little bit better attention. Hey, that slide was a little sloppy. Let me get that in place before I, again, start learning all my songs and solos, or I go on stage and start improvising. Let's just keep it really simple. And I can change the tempo, so I can just play part of it. Hold that. And that's valuable too, right? Changing the tempo. And then you can repeat that. And now you can kind of break them up into separate little micro sections of individual phrases, right? And that's really important too. Let's finish up with that last one. I added some notes. There it is. I rushed it a little bit, right? So you get to have that immediate feedback. Again, this isn't me trying to get on stage. Yeah, man, let's go. I pulled off on the second one instead of picking. Kind of adding that first one. Sorry for my guitar faces. But you see what I mean? You can just run through those phrases, play with them, pause on them, have that immediate feedback, right? In one of those sections, I missed that slide. Don't, beat yourself over the head. That's part of playing any instrument. Ooh, little slip, little mess up. And it's really important to not crush yourself. Oftentimes when I do see people, smaller shows, watching someone I know hit a gig, play a gig, that's where you'll see people freak out. They will miss a note, a mishit, pick too hard, scrape, whatever, and then they rush and they try to overcorrect because something sounded a little sloppy. Let yourself have that crappy hit. Get over it. That's the better approach. You know what? It happened. I'm going to continue to be smooth. The faster you go, the less smooth it can start sounding, and then that's where really big errors take place. Okay, so I can live with that sliding. I know I'm covering it as though I'm so embarrassed by it. But you know, that's a really important thing is, all right, I missed the slide, who cares? So like I said, I was maybe a little arbitrary with this. You know, 5 to 10 minutes I think is lovely. I think if you're going 5 minutes, that should include playing through the licks a little bit. But you could just jump right in theoretically, right? You can look at the tabs and say, I'm going to jump right in. I'll even put the tabs on like the last screen. Maybe you can screenshot it, especially if you're on like your phone. I feel like the desktop doesn't actually allow you to screenshot, but you can write it down, whatever, and just take those shapes. Literally do any backing track in the key of C. Like I said, they're all going to be down there, and have some freaking fun with it. So again, if you're going to go 10 minutes, you can incorporate some of that in there. So maybe I should just say, you know, 10 minutes of this is really valuable. But you can sneak it in for 5. And gosh, if you wanted to go 15, I think you'd be feeling really sharp and really solid by the end of that. And so there it is. You know, obviously there's some skills in there that if you don't have them, I would say like and subscribe, because there's plenty of good shorts that I put out there that I think have valuable stuff. And you know, I'm going to throw out some more practice sessions to get you refining every little skill on the guitar. And yeah, that's that. Please don't judge that. I might not be the best guitar player. I think some of the things that I implement, though, are really helpful to students and people who check out the channel. So I'll stop ranting and raving there and just say have fun with this. And I hope to see you all again soon. Peace.